Help me, please. I seriously need some help. Hi, I'm Jay. I'm a 17-year-old female. I have never posted on Reddit before, but I need help. Now for some background info. I live in a house in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by trees. My window does not have a screen on it and is unlocked, but is covered by a blackout curtain. Now, for what has been happening to me. I have been waking up at exactly 3 a.m. every morning for about a week now. This shouldn't even be possible with the sleeping meds I'm on, but it's still been happening. I've been having bad nightmares, all about friends and family dying in horrible ways. The only way I'm able to get back to sleep is to go sleep on the couch with my dog. This is because I've been hearing voices in my room after I wake up, usually of my boyfriends or sisters. Tonight, however, I was in my field hanging out with my horse at approximately 1900 hours. This is when I started to hear my sister's voice calling me from the timber inside his pasture. I started to walk towards it, but got an uneasy feeling when the horse continued to stand still, as he usually follows us and comes to voices. I instead walked back up to the house to find my sister sitting on the couch, and she confirmed she hadn't been outside all night. At first, I assumed it was in my head. I went outside again on a walk to try to calm down. I ended up sitting in the timber with my cat, trying to relax, as this is usually what is most calming for me. That was until I started to hear large footsteps falling closer and closer to me. I flashed my light and made some noise, assuming it was a deer or something. That is when my cat bolted towards the house. I am positive it was not me that scared him, as he's been with me before when I've scared off deer, coyotes, and even a couple of bobcats. He has always trusted me to protect him and has never been scared of any of these things. When he bolted, I immediately got a feeling of unease and started to walk quickly towards my house, but it quickly turned into a run when I heard the thing getting closer. It did not speak that time, but it was clearly very large and was moving pretty quickly towards me. I now sit in my room typing this with the window locked, terrified at whatever is hunting me. Please help me. What is this thing? Why is it after me? How do I get rid of it? I don't want to be scared to leave my house for the rest of my life. I've tried doing research, but I can't figure out what it is. If you have any idea, please let me know. I'm so scared. Update. I have been on my medications for over a year, and I've just started experiencing these things. I'm pretty sure they are not med-related. I also have experienced multiple paranormal things throughout my life. This one is the only one that feels like it's going to hurt me. The property belonged to my grandfather, and the house was built by him. My grandfather went to prison when I was 6, and that is when we moved in. Other than that, I don't really know the history or anything, but it's 3 acres of land, mostly covered in thick timber. Other than that, thank you for your advice. Ghost dog or hallucinations? Hi, I have this weird story to share. I was around 16 at that time. I woke up in the middle of the night. It was almost 3 a.m. I checked my phone that was in the bed with me. I was facing the wall, and my back was facing the vast emptiness of my room. I remember this feeling of being watched. I was petrified to turn in my bed to face the rest of my room, so like a coward, I pulled up my blanket to cover my head a little bit and tried to fall back asleep. This is when I heard and felt my dog jumping on my bed, walking up to me, and laying on my back. I instantly felt relaxed and happy that my dog came to me to cuddle. The weight on my back felt really comforting. The weight slowly vanished over the course of the next few minutes. When I felt that the weight was gone, I turned around only to realize that my door was closed and my dog wasn't there. I was shaken, but I instantly thought that maybe it was my dad's childhood dog. The house has always belonged to my family. How can I be sure if my 95-year-old apartment building is haunted? I live in an apartment complex that used to be a cotton warehouse that was built in 1928. The floors, brick walls, and windows are all original. I've heard the normal creaks and bumps that come with a building that old. Then, there was last Saturday night. I got off work pretty late and was walking down the hall when I heard what sounded like boots running. Then, when I got to my door, the boot steps stopped almost suddenly. I go to unlock my door and feel a heavy hand on my shoulder and someone say, "Help." I turned around and nobody was there, of course. Now, the hallways in this building are tall, long, and dimly lit, especially at night, and there isn't really much space to hide if someone was just playing a joke. Last night, at our community Halloween party, I asked some people I've become acquainted with if they've ever heard or felt anything strange in the halls at night. And one woman, about my age, said she doesn't leave her apartment after sunset because she thought she heard loud screaming in the hall. And after she called the police, they swept the building twice and didn't find anything. I even heard people say they were considering moving because of the creepy stuff that happens around the building. How do I make sure the place is haunted or just an old building making old building noises? The following was a real encounter and not a hoax. Inexplicable fear in the presence of an alien. I've just watched Encounters on Netflix, and so much is resonating with an experience I had as a teenager, 16. Me and 5 other friends went out for a midnight stroll on the common in our town. The common is a large area of fields and trees that are completely uninhabited. We were sneaking out quite late because we'd snuck a bottle of one of my friend's parents' vodka and wanted to indulge. This was something we did often. We were walking for a while and went so far as to not see the lights from the town anymore. It's a tiny town. When we saw the shadowy figure in the distance, we giggled at each other like, "Shh, don't let him see us," and carried on walking. We kept seeing this figure though, just a silhouette in the distance. It started to make us uneasy because it seemed no matter how far we walked, he was always in the exact same position as he was before in our eyesight, which is impossible because he didn't move. He didn't walk. We were walking, so how could he still be in the same relative position? We kept walking. Try not to worry about it because we figured we had the numbers advantage, there being 6 of us. Then, suddenly, we sort of had a brief lapse of consciousness, very brief. Like that feeling when water is dumped over your head and you don't experience anything else except that exact sensation. When we came to, we were in a ditch. Not that deep, definitely circular. The grass in the ditch seemed wilted. We were unsure as to how we even got there. Anyway, we decided to keep walking. We were giggling, a little tipsy, talking about our theories of the little crater, we called it. We decided it was likely to be caused by one of the bombings in the Second World War, because our little town was very close to an army base. Not too many minutes after this, all of us stopped dead, almost simultaneously, and started screaming, telling each other to run, get out, go away from here. It felt like our lives were at stake. We were tripping over ourselves, trying to leave the area, screaming and panting. But none of us had any reason to be scared. There was nothing there. None of us had a reason to become hysterical. But it was genuine fear, and it happened simultaneously with each other. Once we got back to the road, the fear lifted immediately, and we almost couldn't fully remember some details, hence randomly ending up in a crater we didn't see. We brushed it away as drunkenness. Thing is, almost a decade ago, I had the same experience. I was going to bed after tucking my children into bed, and I started reading a book, and then suddenly woke up 3 to 4 hours later. I don't remember falling asleep. My book was lying closed on the bedside next to me. However, if I had fallen asleep while reading, I felt like it would have been laid open on my chest or slumped to the side. Later that evening, I felt a presence, almost like a wave of electrical energy coming towards me. And I was curious, but then suddenly, I just felt this intense, irrational fear, and I ran. Similar to that time with my friends. Has anyone had a similar experience?